The storm in Las Vegas hit fast and hit hard. Hours after their excruciating 10-7 loss to the Denver Broncos, the Raiders made a move that sent shockwaves through the entire NFL community. Special teams coordinator Tom McMahon was fired on the spot, an abrupt and brutal decision that told fans and players alike just how unstable things had become inside the organization. The decision came not from quiet meetings or calm reflection, but from a sideline confrontation that had the entire nation talking. During Thursday night's game, cameras caught a furious argument between head coach Pete Carroll and McMahon. It wasn't one of those quick, emotional outbursts that fade away after a tough play. It was heated, prolonged, and intense. Carroll, visibly seething, exchanged words with his coordinator in front of everyone. You didn't have to be an expert to recognize what that meant. This wasn't tension. This was finality. By the time the final whistle blew, the writing was on the wall. McMahon was out, and the Raiders' season, already hanging by a thread, had just taken another sharp turn. On the surface, it looked like an impulsive, emotional reaction from a coach desperate for answers. But insiders knew this wasn't about one argument or one game. It was a culmination of months of mounting frustration. The Raiders' special teams had been an outright disaster all year. Missed field goals, blown coverage, penalties at the worst possible moments. Each week brought new mistakes that cost them momentum, confidence, and, eventually, games. The breaking point came during that loss to Denver. A blocked punt late in the game gave the Broncos the winning touchdown, sealing yet another gut punch defeat. That single play encapsulated everything wrong with the Raiders season. Breakdowns in discipline, poor execution, and a team that couldn't seem to get out of its own way. Pete Carroll, a coach known for energy and accountability, finally had enough. McMahon's firing wasn't just a personnel decision. It was a message. No more excuses. No more complacency. Everyone's job was now on the line. Inside the facility, the mood was uneasy but understanding. Players knew something had to give. They could feel the season slipping away, week after week, as the team's record sank to a miserable 2-7. But firing one coordinator wasn't going to fix everything. This wasn't just a special teams issue. It was a full-blown organizational collapse. The offense had no rhythm. The defense couldn't sustain stops, and morale had crumbled under the weight of frustration and unmet expectations. And then came another gut punch, the injuries. During the same game that sealed McMahon's fate, the Raiders lost one of their brightest young stars, center Jackson Powers Johnson. Midway through the second quarter, he went down awkwardly after a block, clutching his leg as the stadium fell into a stunned silence. The medical staff rushed in, and teammates took a knee. The look on their faces said it all. This was serious. Powers Johnson couldn't put any weight on his leg as he was helped off the field. And after the game, Carroll's grim tone told fans what they feared most. Johnson would be out for a while, which in NFL language rarely means a short recovery. It couldn't have come at a worse time. Drafted in 2024, Powers Johnson had quickly become one of the Raiders' most promising young talents. He was big, smart, and strong, a natural leader at center who brought stability to an otherwise shaky offensive line. In just over a season, he had started 19 of 21 games, earning all-rookie honors, and solidifying himself as a foundational piece of future. His loss was devastating, not only for what he brought physically, but for the calm he brought mentally. Without him, everything unraveled. The pocket collapsed repeatedly. Quarterback Geno Smith took hit after brutal hit, each one more punishing than the last. At one point, Smith limped off the field clutching his leg, grimacing from pain. Though he finished the game, you could see the toll it had taken. His protection was gone, and with it, any real chance to get the offense moving. And the injury bug didn't stop there. Left guard Dylan Parham suffered a severe ankle sprain and was ruled out indefinitely. Veteran tackle Colton Miller remained sidelined on injured reserve. In a matter of hours, 3 of the team's core offensive linemen were either gone or hobbled. For any team, that's catastrophic. For a struggling one like the Raiders, it was a death sentence. You can't run an offense when your line is decimated. You can't open holes for your running backs or protect your quarterback. Every drive becomes a scramble for survival. What makes this stretch even more painful is the timing. The Raiders now face the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football, one of the most dominant defensive fronts in the NFL. Micah Parsons to Marcus Lawrence, and that ferocious line have made a habit of tormenting quarterbacks behind weakened protection. And if Las Vegas has to send out backups and practice squad replacements, Geno Smith could be in for one of the longest nights of his career. Behind the scenes, chaos reigns. The coaching staff is scrambling to piece together an emergency plan to keep the offense functional. Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly, already under fire for unimaginative play calling, now faces an impossible task. He has to redesign the entire offense to account for a collapsing line, an injured quarterback, and a locker room that's rapidly losing confidence. You can't just replace a player like Powers Johnson with the next man up. His awareness, strength, and leadership can't be replicated. Every missing starter changes the game plan. And now, Kelly's hands are tied. The fallout from all this goes far beyond X's and O's. This was supposed to be a fresh start. Pete Carroll's return to coaching had energized the fan base. Pairing him with Chip Kelly was meant to bring creativity and energy, a blend of old-school discipline and modern offense. Instead, the Raiders are unraveling faster than anyone expected. Carroll is now under enormous pressure. Questions are growing louder about his leadership, his play calling, and whether his trademark enthusiasm can still motivate a team that looks lost. Every loss adds fuel to the fire. Ownership is watching closely, evaluating whether this coaching staff is capable of turning things around or whether another overhaul is looming. Players are frustrated, fans are furious, and the once hopeful season has devolved into survival mode. McMahon's firing may be the first major domino to fall, but it likely won't be the last. More coaching changes could come before the season ends, and whispers around the league suggest the front office is already considering major offseason moves. For now, the Raiders face a brutal reality. Their record sits at 2-7. Their offensive line is broken. Their special teams are in shambles. Their locker room is tense. And their head coach, once a symbol of optimism, now stands at a crossroads. The dream of a new era in Las Vegas has quickly turned into a nightmare of injuries, missed opportunities, and mounting chaos. The upcoming game against Dallas won't just test their resilience. It could define their season. Another loss, another humiliating performance on national television, and the organization may have no choice but to start over from the ground up. The question isn't just whether Pete Carroll can fix this. It's whether anyone can. Now, the ball's in your court. Do you think the Raiders can still turn this season around? Or are we watching the slow, painful beginning of another total rebuild in Las Vegas? With half the offensive line sidelined, coaches under fire, and a season spiraling out of control, what's the next move? Should they stick with Carroll and let him steady the ship? Or is it time for a complete reset at the top? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you found this breakdown insightful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Because with everything happening inside this organization right now, trust me, this Raiders drama is only getting started.